We all know that breathing is important and can really limit our performances on the bike. But did you know that an exercise that can teach you how to have diaphragmatic breathing can help you recover much quicker in between your efforts on the bike? Now, there is a time and a place for diaphragmatic breathing. Hard efforts, such as a climb or a sprint, is not them. We're talking about most of the time when you're cruising down the road or you're trying to bring your heart rate and power down as quickly as possible so you can go again. The crocodile breathing exercise is fantastically easy, but it is not simple. And what I mean by that is it is relatively easy to do, but for most of us, we get all these different muscle tightnesses, so it's not simple. Let's take a look at how to do this properly. The first thing we're going to do is make sure we have a yoga mat or another clean place on the floor, because we are going to be face down. And this is really important. You can have just a regular beach towel if you want, but you want to make sure there is some room between your mouth and the floor to be able to breathe. Now from here, all we're going to do is we're going to come down and we're going to be in a face down position. Now what's really important here is that the hands are stacked and the shoulders are relaxed, elbows flat on the floor and the toes pointing behind you. Now in this position we want to make sure we're in what's called neck neutral, so we don't want to be looking ahead. Now some of you may have trouble with this. You may only be able to do one hand. The other hand can be just on top of the other, or just in front of the other rather, with the head on top of the hand. But we want to make sure we're as spine neutral as possible and relaxing the shoulders. This is a challenging part for a lot of cyclists, as their shoulders tend to get really tight and sore. So this is a large part of the exercise. Now from here, if you think about a crocodile laying on the banks of, I don't know, the Nile somewhere. I think that's where crocodiles are. Maybe it's an alligator. We're going to focus on relaxing the upper shoulder, relaxing the lower back right where my hand is. And what I want to try and do is actually fill air into my mid and lower back. So right where my hand is, we want to see it rise. Let's see if I can do this here this evening. And I'm breathing in through my nose, and I'm thinking about bringing the air into my back towards my mid back, right in through here, which is allowing me to open up my lower back. Let's see if we can do it without the hand there. Now you'll notice as I breathe, you can actually see my flanks rise just a little bit, kind of like a crocodile. And that's why this is called crocodile breathing, is we're getting you to be able to relax the hip flexors and get a full diaphragmatic breath while breathing into the sides. Now, this is a big challenge for a lot of cyclists and triathletes alike, for the fact that they tend to close down the obliques. Now, the obliques are very unique in the body, especially for the midsection. And again, the core is everything between your neck, your elbows, and your knees. The obliques have a very unique attachment and innervation in that there's, nerve-wise, there's 4 different compartments: upper and lower, forward and back, medial and lateral, as well as they tie in, the external oblique ties into your glute max, as well as the serratus anterior, the muscles, the small little fingertip muscles underneath your chest. Now, this can create a very negative impact when you're not able to use one of those muscles. The rest of the chain tends to shut down a little bit because they work in unison. So the crocodile breathing exercise is a fantastic way for you to loosen your hip flexors, the psoas in particular. So the psoas actually runs through the diaphragm muscle, and being able to relax and breathe, the diaphragm acts as a self-massager, if you will, on the psoas muscle. It's really cool, as long as you're getting the upper body to relax as well. Now, a lot of people have very tight necks and upper traps, and you'll get into this position and you may feel even like this, where your shoulders are shrugging up towards your ears. Your focus then would be on getting your shoulder blades to relax and allow your breath to open up all of your ribs. Now, your ribs are going to act kind of like bucket handles. When you breathe in, they should move up and out, and when you breathe out, down and in. However, most of us riding on the bike, we're in a crunched forward position. That's part of the reason why we get side stitches. The intercostals muscles get very tight and then locked down to protect. This is a great exercise to teach you how to relax. Some of my athletes even do it just to de-stress. They just like how it feels when they're really stressed. Now, I don't know if you do that in the middle of a workplace, but it's a great way to help you to be able to bring your heart rate down, change the internal environment, the hormonal environment, and relax a lot of tight muscles that cyclists have. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, it also helps you to be able to decrease your heart rate and bring you back down to normal resting rate so that you're able to go again on the bike. Very powerful exercise, but it takes time. Start with 3 to 4 breaths. Try and do 4 seconds in through the nose, hold for a count of 3, and then out through a relaxed open mouth for a count of 4.